Hi there, I'm Professor Lucien. Just trying to rebuild this course for you, and you caught me right in the middle of it. I'm just kidding. But really what I'm doing is I added a new textbook to this course and access to it and a few other things just to make it a little bit more engaging, maybe a little bit more easy to access. And so what I'd like to do is just kind of describe some things I've done for this class and describe who I am. And then some other things I'm going to be adding to this class. Again, I'm trying to make it more engaging and a little bit cleaner as far as how the weekly lessons lead into the course project, which is something that your predecessors have asked me to do. Who am I? Well, if you haven't had me in a class, my background is in engineering. My undergrad was in chemical, and my graduate classes were industrial engineering, and with a focus on not only safety and health, but human factors, organizational design and management, and different types of research methods. I wouldn't say I'm a prolific researcher as much as some of my colleagues here in the department, but I'm very much an applied researcher, which I think better fits with what everybody in this class may do or may be interested in. I cut my teeth in safety through as being a compliance officer with OSHA in Minnesota. I was an industrial hygiene engineer. I worked for a little while with consultation. I worked as a product manager for a year before decided to go to graduate school. While I was in graduate school, I did the graduate school stuff, TA, instructor, research assistant, but then I also was a part-time assistant safety director. After graduation, I worked with the University of Minnesota Duluth for a few years, and then I've been at Whitewater now for over 10 years. And then I also do some, on the side, some consulting work and some expert witness work, which is legal work. I am heavily involved with the American Society of Safety Professionals. I am currently just finishing my 3-year commitment as Vice President for the Council of Professional Development. I just received a call not an hour ago indicating I'm going to be on the ballot for a special election coming up for Region 5. That's all I can say about it. Because we're not allowed to, go out and promote yourself. I have to follow the rules and be zip about it, but I'm excited that I'll be on the ballot anyway, so that's kind of cool. I served all the different officer levels of the Wisconsin chapter, which is the local level. That's a chapter I belong to. And for about 10 years, I was on the Future Safety Leaders Conference Planning Committee, and I've also sat on many other councils and task force for the society, specifically within the educators or academics. I was on the advisory board for the Wisconsin Safety Council for many years, helped steer them. And I guess what I probably want to pull out of here was that I was actually the lead safety volunteer for a recording of the ABC hit television show Extreme Makeover Home Edition. That was really interesting. What did I learn? Reality TV isn't reality. Just throw it out there. So this is kind of me in a nutshell here. On any given Saturday, you'll find me out working in the garage or in the yard or something else around the house, listening to JJO. They play 90s from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. My two loves. So that Saturdays, that's me. I like to do remodeling, yard work, gardening. I also teach archery to children. I should say to youth. I don't just pull them off the street. There are classes, and I manage that program for the Stoughton Conservation Club. And what I'm looking to do is expand my consulting business, my side hustle, to have more of a regular podcast. Because this and many other things are on my YouTube channel because of the pandemic, but I'd like to make it more of a general public offering versus just my students. So the course syllabus is posted under the course information on the Canvas. If you haven't found it yet, these are cut and paste from those. On the left, there's total 5% for participating in the icebreaker, kind of introducing yourself to the classmates, talking to each other, getting to know each other, and then completing the course evaluation, which you'll get an email from the university, not from me, from the university at the end of the course. Each week we have a quiz. It's 10 questions, multiple choice, based on the authors. The authors wrote the questions. And I selected questions that are more broad or general because they get really specific on some that I even had difficulty deciding what the right answer is. So it shouldn't be that difficult. You get 2 chances to take it as well. And I think after you take it, it indicates which ones you got right. So the ones you got incorrect, you can look those up. And then before you take it again, you get 15 minutes to take it. Shouldn't take that long. Each week there'll be an assignment. The assignments are being redesigned to better lead you down this path of a stepwise improvement each week leading to the final project. Each week I want you to participate in the discussion board early and often. I'm updating the topics. There's going to be 4 or 5 every week. And it's meant to get to know your classmates, support your classmates, and also share what you guys are going through. At, I believe, week 4, you guys will be completing some human subjects protection training offered through the university. Anybody who does research that include human subjects have to go through this. We decided it'd be a great thing to have in this class, and it does fit in. I think it'll give you great insight into what it's like. And then there's a final paper. The final paper is a research proposal. That's what it is. Similar to what you'd submit if you were to be pursuing the 30 credit degree instead of the 36, which is non-research. So we'll be using that as sort of a guide, but the effort you put into developing a research proposal really gives you a lot of the skills and abilities and insights to what if you were even to do your own research. So I think that's a really important aspect of this class, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to coach you, mentor you. That's what this is all about. On the right, you see we've got the weeks all set up. Each week is a module. Start out, you've got the icebreaker on top, and then what is research? And so I've assigned 2 chapters for the reading, then the quiz, discussion board, and the assignment. You can read, probably already read the rest. I do recommend that you download the syllabus and take a look at it, but it's all really well laid out, and it's meant to be a stepwise. So some of you may go on vacation or be busy. Reach out to me. I'll be the bridge to make sure you still can get scoring and points and still participate and learn from each module. But I would like it if we could go from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. And it'll work better for you as well. I always give recommendations, kind of like philosophize at the end of my classes. And last semester, I talked about enjoy the climb. That each semester, or maybe your degree, it looks like that kind of you're going to climb a mountain. And the thing is, everybody's like so anxious just to get to the peak. There, I made it. But a lot of times when you reach that peak, you look up and you see a new peak. So what I'd like to talk about is enjoying the climb, because it's the work you put in, the experiences, the reflections of the climb itself to what you do in this class that is going to make getting to the peak what it's meant to be. Not just reaching a point, but what you became to reach that point. So this course is meant to be very peer supported, very seminar-like, which was my favorite courses in graduate school, where we really got to debate and reflect, and that's what it's all about. The modules are usually Monday through Sunday, though I'll be releasing new content on Tuesdays, and things are open until either Tuesday or Wednesday of the following week. So there's flexibilities, but I had to provide some form of start and end to the cyclic nature of this course. You're going to be developing a proposal, and in doing so, you'll learn to do research in many ways, but you're not actually collecting data. So just letting you all know, because in the past, I don't know how they missed it, but students thought, oh, how am I going to get this research done? You're not doing research, you're creating a proposal, which I believe is about 80% of a research project in itself. I think the last thing I'm going to say is I do want you to reach out to me. Last fall, last time I taught this class, I was able to go one-on-one, either over a phone call or a WebEx, with each student who needed that extra guidance to get to their research question and develop their semester project. And so please reach out to me. I'm here for you. The course textbook is new. So that's where I'll be changing things and redesigning the class. I've got a paperback version. But what you need to do is go to the UW bookstore. I've got the URL at the bottom. Click on Find Your Books. When you do, it'll bring you to this page. Please enter into the left, Summer of 2021, Safety, 701, and then my name, and hit Continue. Now, if you have any questions or need assistance, you can reach out to Dale. I'm not going to say his last name because I'd screw it up, but he's aware that this is new to the course and that you may need assistance. His information is there. And you have a choice when you get to the next page, and that is you can purchase a hardback for $80, and it'll be sent to you. Or, and this is interesting, I think this is really cool, $28.25 in order to access a digital rental through the Canvas page. It's really exciting. It's the same content, I was assured by the publisher. I've been working really hard to get to this point. So you just click on it, order it, and then you can access it through Canvas. I think that's pretty awesome. If you don't like those options, you can go to Amazon. See at the top here, it says college students get 2-day free shipping on textbooks. You can rent it, but it's more expensive and it's not accessed through Canvas, so I wouldn't do that. But you can buy used, you could buy new. It's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. I think the $28.50 is a really great deal, especially since it's accessible through Canvas. I think that's awesome. And you see I've got the red box down here. So Vital Source Bookshelf is where it's going to be located when you buy it through the bookstore. The basic layout, so each week there'll be a module. You can see under general information, that's where these videos are located and the syllabus and stuff. We've got the objectives, we've got the assigned readings. It says Chapter 1, Chapter 2. But I also posted a PDF of the PowerPoint that the authors built. And so maybe that helps you read faster or skim or to focus on certain things. But I'm providing those to you. Just to be helpful. My lectures that I provide are meant to be taking the main points of the lessons, but talking about it from a practical application. So make it more relatable to you. So I'm not going to read the chapters to you. You're a graduate student. Reading is essential to to your development. And I'd hate to rob you of that experience. It's like, darn. Under multimedia, we've got the lecture videos and supplemental. So you're gonna get to know and appreciate and, dare I say, love Naomi Shem, who's our librarian. She's amazing and she's there to help you as well. She's such a great addition to this course. And there'll be other guests as well. Then there is the quiz link, 10 multiple choice. You get 2 chances, 15 minutes each time. Yeah, you can use notes. They're broad questions. I selected them. They're from the authors. And they're meant to be more broad versus specific. Here's a link to the discussion board. Please go there often and frequently. The assignment is here for week 1. You're given 4 different types of publications, and you have to write the APA citation. Under multimedia, there is a tutorial from Naomi Shem. We used to have you purchase the APA manual, but in talking with Naomi, our UWW library site has enough of it that you don't have to purchase it. So that's another thing I've done for you. And so you're going to try and write 4 different references in APA style, which is meant to make you appreciate the citation management software that's going to be available in week 2, which is free. Then there's an assignment in the assignment folder. The assignments, I am redesigning those as well to make them more applicable. So you're not doing as much busy work. Everything contributes to the future. And then if you want to, this is like a question that you can pose the entire class through raise your hand, or you can email me directly. Totally up to you. That's the design of the class, basically. So I'd like to just take a breath here and back up. And I want to talk about probably one of the most important lessons I learned early in graduate school, because some of you are early in your process, in your degree. And that is wanting to rush to get through classes, through semesters to get to that degree. Here we've got a above the water bungalow. And here, look at this beautiful dining table setup, whatever you want to call it. Oh my gosh, once in a lifetime opportunity, big investment, but wow, it really changes you. Think of graduate school this way. Imagine this was graduate school, and what you did is you invested all this money. Of course, you did all kinds of preparation for it. You get there, and you just sit down, eat real quick, and go back to your bungalow, sleep, and then leave. You'd be crazy to do that, wouldn't you? You want to soak it all in. Graduate school is the same way. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're investing a lot into it. Take your time. Soak it all in. Enjoy the climb, as I had stated just earlier. That was great advice to me. And because you want it to change you, the way you think, the way you approach things. That's what it's for. If you're just rushing to get letters behind your name and you haven't really accepted what that means, you're not getting everything out of it. And I hate to rob you of that experience. I think I've said that twice now. On this screen here, on the bottom left, there's the term, what we don't know, which is an important lesson I learned from graduate school that I'd been practicing for 6-7 years before I went to graduate school. So I thought I knew everything. But when I was asked questions, I thought, oh, here's the answer. But they questioned me, well, how do you know that? And so then I had to start going to the literature and evaluating the literature to show that A causes B, or that these two things are related, these two variables. And in doing so, I started understanding there's a lot we don't know. There's a lot of things that we take for granted, a lot of assumptions we make, unjustified assumptions, a lot of heuristics that guide our decision making in safety. You're going to learn what that means. So I do want you to start thinking about what I don't know, versus assuming you know everything, because the brain does create shortcuts to make things easier. Framing the problem is the most important aspect of doing research, and so that's what the first 4 or 5 weeks of this course are really built around. And you're thinking, I can solve a problem. Thing is, when you're stating a research problem, you don't state it as something that you can figure out. It's something you can understand better, but not have an answer to, or have the answer already available to you. And then over on the right, the first time you start coming up with a research question or a focus for this course, it's going to be too grand. And the picture here is the Mona Lisa, so a painting. So you may think that, oh, my project has to be a painting, a fully complete concept. No, a research proposal is one brushstroke of a portrait. I will be referring back to these 3 concepts often throughout this course to remind you to simplify, to make sure that you define everything that is known about a particular topic or background, provide context of scope and justification, and then pursue a question and come up with sub-questions, which will all become relevant as you read chapters 1 and 2 this week. You're learning the scientific method, which is really exciting because we do operate too much on heuristics, which is just rule of thumb. And it's not a linear process. It's not algorithmic. It's not if-then. It's somewhat cyclic, but it's, 1 step forward, 2 steps back at times. That's the way it works. And as you try things out in this class, fail and understand it, and go back and maybe a step or 2 and go forward again, you're really learning how to think scientifically. And that's the only way to learn it, really. Tried and true. I'm worried about some of these programs I'm seeing popping up online around the US in which they don't allow you to try things and fail. You can't think scientifically if you're not willing to accept that failure is a possibility and to learn from it. Here's Naomi Shem. Here's her information. This is how you can find her through the UWW library site. She is going to be your savior this semester, and she is so helpful. She's awesome. So she's going to have some videos intertwined here with lectures. She's going to make your life better. So if you're having any issues with accessing something, you should never have to pay for any of the articles you're looking for. She's the person to go to. Ask me too. We'll also be using Donna Kemp through the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs. She's going to help us make sure that you guys can access and complete the Human Subjects Protection training through CITI. That's in week 4, I believe. We'll also have some honored guests. Here on the screen here, we have Dr. Daniel Snyder. He's really excited. He's going to be a big new addition to this class. I will probably have him on as in an office hour, which will be posted on the Canvas site. It'll be through WebEx, but I'll record it and make it available to those who can't make it. Also, some current and former graduate students are going to share their experiences and the work they did, just to provide you with even more of a possible blueprint or pathway to completing your research proposal. All in all, we're going to be standing on the shoulders of philosophers. We're learning the scientific method. We're taking we're in the search of understanding and truth, which is what all these philosophers were basically attempting to teach us. And I think that's really exciting. Dr. Snyder quotes a lot of these, Greek philosophers and English philosophers and French philosophers. I think it's really exciting. So we're getting to the end here. Gotta pick up my drill and keep building. If you have any questions, reach out to me. But what should you do first? Decide what you want to get for the course textbook, whether it's the ebook, which I recommend, or purchasing either through the bookstore or through Amazon. And then please go on to the Canvas site. Start playing around. introduce yourself through the icebreaker, and then you can start watching lecture 1 and reading the chapters. That's everything I have, but please reach out to me. I would like to get to know all of you. I would like to begin hosting multiple office hours per week where we can get together and I can both answer your questions, provide guidance, but even just talk about the profession in general. That's what I'm here for, and I look forward to working with you this semester.